back to the How I Got Greenlit podcast and YouTube show. As always, I'm one of your two hosts, Sam Levine, and I'm joined by writer, director, and the creator of Project Greenlight, Alex Keledjian. Alex, I got one question for you.
Go.
In the, I would say, 3/4 of a year that we have been doing this show, is this the best movie we've done so far?
Yes.
All right, so the movie is Project Hail Mary, for all you wonderers. I just saw it yesterday or the day before that, and I was blown away.
Nice.
Thank God for the movies sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this was exactly
we
what we needed.
A feel-good movie, like culturally, and that's the part everybody forgets about the movies.
Feel good without the inauthenticity.
No, not schmaltzy, just a positive message movie in a negative world.
Right. And for anyone who doesn't know, because we're not doing any kind of recap, and to be fair, like, I didn't know a lot about this movie going into it other than people loved it. It is a movie in which an American astronaut goes out into space to basically try and figure out what is the Earth's sun, the Earth's star, and along the way, he encounters an alien from another planet who's actually wondering the same thing, because there is this organism that is all the stars in the solar system.
Space virus.
Space virus, we'll call it, exactly. And this alien is basically a rock. It's like a little rock person. And in my opinion, what this movie is, at the end of the day, if we really, simplify its message, it's a movie about immigration and the benefits to cross-cultural impact. It really is. These two unlikely...
That's where you went with it?
It is.
That's the message?
These two unlikely friends
Yes.
share information that the other one doesn't possess, and as a result, saves both their worlds. I love history almost as much as I love movies. And one thing about history is that the way that humanity has always learned and gone forward is cross-cultural impact. New societies meeting one another.
That's the positive way to think of it. The park definition is whatever the sort of dominant culture is the winner of that story. But I think it's both. I think immediately it's pretty deadly. And then I think 50 years later, you have amazing food and culture and music and the blues pretty much, right? But I didn't get immigration out of this. I thought it was just space odd couple. It was like Felix and Oscar. Like, I think you're overthinking it.
No, I mean, honestly, that's just what came to my mind was that, like, because look, I don't care. We're going to spoil this movie, guys. It is too good not to spoil. And if you haven't seen it, stop the show, go see it, come back to this. At the end of the movie, what does he do? He goes and lives on their planet as an immigrant.
He's an expat. He's like an American expat. Well, we can go in any order. My issue with that ending was they put a hat on a hat on a hat.
Love it.
They had me and they lost me. And I get it's fine, but I know in later years they're going to rewatch it and go, oof. Because it's such a temptation. You have 10 good ideas for endings. So you're like, we could do them all. So he turns around, he saves them. Then they're saved, but then he needs saving. And then he wakes up on the beach and you think he's dead. And no, he's like in a little sort of snow globe on the alien planet with oxygen so he can live. And that would have been enough. But then when he walked down to the grotto and was a school teacher for the rock children that looked like Muppets, that was a fridge too far.
Do you know why they look like Muppets? I'll tell you why they look like Muppets. Because they were Muppets. They were puppets. They were not CGI, which I absolutely love. Neither was Rocky
I don't mind
the Alien.
That, but I feel like somebody saw a great movie that had like this perfect little ending. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's alive. He made it. They're still friends.
Wait, where would you have ended it? Where would you have ended
Robinson Crusoe. Like he's on the beach. He's almost like...
That's pretty far, though.
It's him and the buddy, and then leave it. That's what I'm saying. Like they had me at banana split, but then they poured maple syrup on it at the end.
I thought you would have said that the ending would have been when he's sort of going back into the tunnel to save his friend.
So that was the first ending. Was his act. to be heroic. I'm not a hero. I'm not a hero. I'm not a hero. I'm not a hero. He jumps into the unknown to save his friend. That would have been that. You know, that's what I wanted First Man to have that energy of. And then they had the, well, wait, there's more. And they do the like fantasy ending, right? Because this movie is like, it's hard sci-fi up to a point. And then it just like fills in the DNA with frog DNA.
Yeah.
So and the frog DNA is magical thinking, like the rock aliens, like space virus, like, but they're done in a way that like you feel like someone had a theory on them once, you know, like why do some stars die? Maybe there's some kind of space virus, you know? So smart. And the rockets work and gravity is an issue. It's not space fantasy like Star Wars. So I think that that's the Andy Weir-averse. If they're talking about doing one like sequels to this movie. And I feel like this happened in the Martian universe. So somewhere Matt Damon will come limping onto the rock beach.
Yeah.
Which is fun. That's great. You know, I like when we're going back to the moon and there's a good real sci-fi that is aspirational enough, like we could do it. The thing I did love was his notion of, okay, so if we have a space virus, how do we harness it to be like the best engine ever? That part I loved. I thought that was a really good, like they came up with a space worm and then they started thinking through how would that ramify into the world that they've created. You know what I mean?
Here's why I love the ending. Because I did not want to interpret or hope or say what I think is going to happen. What I wanted was to know for sure that Ryan Gosling and his space rock alien Muppet friend were going to live together forever, happily ever after, forever and ever and ever.
Dude, we got to do a double bill with Enemy Mine. Do you remember Enemy Mine?
Love Enemy Mine. Oh, are you kidding me?
It's
Dennis
kind
Quaid
of
and
Enemy
Louis
Mine with a better like puppet. Yeah, Louis Gossett.
Yeah, I love Enemy Mine, dude. I love that era of sci-fi. For me, I didn't want to have to hope for anything. I wanted to know for sure. This is one of those movies where it's kind of like, you know, on the Shawshank Redemption, they never planned on adding in the beach scene. They added in that later because
that's what
I need that. I need that.
Yes, and so I'm saying like him going back for him is enough. We believe it'll be okay. We don't need to see all the details and the like plaque on the moon and whatever, like it's over. But I think that somewhere somebody thought, hey, Rocky's a great guy, and this tech, I love the design of the ship. They're sort of like space spiders, and the architecture had almost like a web quality, and even the and stuff, they never had like symmetry. It was sort of like beautiful asymmetry. So a lot of thought into that. So somebody said, God, he's great. Like, why don't we show a glimpse of how like they could stay in touch or whatever, you know?
Something I marveled about in this movie from the first 10 minutes was how deftly it used exposition without really making it so obvious. The whole time I was just thinking to myself that Christopher Nolan needs to find the guy who wrote this book in The Martian and learn how to write exposition, because every Christopher Nolan movie is exposition with no character, no cleverness behind it, no tricks. And this movie, I mean, the first 15 minutes of this movie is pure exposition. Yeah. And if you didn't know that word or weren't acquainted with writing, you would never know it.
I think that this is the Gosling we've been waiting for.
He's got such a good scream.
He's the movie star now. Yeah. And the reason I said, we were talking about this before, the reason I said the new Hanks is because this is Castaway. Like he's acting to the wall for like an hour.
He also doesn't take himself that seriously.
No.
I would argue
he's like the everyman, even though.
Well, he's not an everyman. Hanks was more of an everyman,
Exactly. And that's the joke, is they portray him like that, and he has the goofy and the sort of professorial affectations, but we're supposed to believe that like there's a will they won't they between Ryan Gosling and anyone of, you know, consenting age.
He has the comedic and handsomeness of a George Clooney, and George Clooney's
Or
a
a Cary
fantastic
Grant.
right. So
Yes.
this is what I say. So George Clooney's a fantastic comedic actor, but the thing about Ryan Gosling we know is that he's a better dramatic actor than George Clooney. He's a more technically talented actor. I like George Clooney.
He can bury himself like Clooney's always Clooney.
Right, but Gosling doesn't. This movie was more dramatic at times than I expected, and I was really moved by Gosling's performance more than I was anticipating. But Gosling, you know, in the beginning of his career, played a lot of dramatic movies, from The Believer to Half Nelson to some pretty crummy ones, like the one where he played the dude from that killer, that the Jinx or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. But then he slid much more into comedy, into The Nice Guys, and this is like, to me, the perfect blend of both those things.
was the inflection point. But you know, Fall Guy, like, he found his Burt Reynolds, and what I mean by that is, like, Burt Reynolds is doing serious roles, but he's always funny on the Tonight Show, and everyone's like, when's he going to do funny? And it was like Smokey and the Bandit, where he was doing action and being heroic, but he was being funny. And that's why it's a natural that I love Gosling in The Fall Guy. So it's like, he does this, like, everyman. I know I'm handsome, but I always downplay it. I never like George Clooney in a tux. I'm always bedraggled and tatted and, like, dirty, but I'm lovable and I can take a beating. He always, like, takes a beating.
He's got a great scream. His scream is unbelievable.
Yeah, and he does
good.
Like that girly scream that's hilarious. Mm-hmm. It's his signature thing. It's almost like when Burt Reynolds has that high laugh. Mm-hmm. It becomes this, like, archetype thing, and he's, like, going into that. Like, he'll be like a Cagney before we're, like, through, you know. And drama, comedy, whatever. He did La La Land. I bought him dancing. I mean, it's always the hard of a triple threat. That's the hardest one, is the dance. But I would see him again in another musical. So he can do anything. He's eminently likable. He kind of keeps his nose clean in the public sphere. Like, you know, keep it up.
Yeah. All right, I got a question for you. I'm going to name 4 movies: Contact, Arrival, The Martian, and Project Hail Mary. Drop one. Get rid of one of them.
Ooh, that's a good list. Okay, so Arrival is definitely staying on that list. What was the other one?
Contact, Project Hail Mary.
Contact.
All right, so here's my belief.
Sorry. I think, like aspects of Contact.
So I dislike Arrival. I think Arrival got all the praise that Contact should have gotten. It's the same movie in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's like, but you see how directors bring like a tone.
So when you called this movie hard sci-fi, part of the reason I disagree is that I think this movie partial. This movie, The Martian, these movies are light on science in some ways, even though they've got science in there, and very heavy on humanity. And I can't remember seeing a movie like The Martian, like Project Hail Mary, like Arrival before Contact. I love Contact. Once a year, I try to remind people how good I think Contact is. But I can't remember a movie. I think all these movies live in Contact's legacy, unless there's a movie like Contact that I'm not thinking of.
But have you revisit? I mean, I'm happy.
I revisit Contact often.
Taste test with you. That one. Oh, you know, it's funny you say that. I've watched Arrival maybe like 4 or 5 times.
I don't like Arrival.
So. Oh, it's delicious. It's so still, and it's like a perfect short story, which is what I guess it was. But yeah, I hear you. He's cold in a way too. Which Zemeckis, I like Zemeckis, and I like that crazy shot into the mirror of Contact, and I like a lot of Contact, and I like the message of Contact, you know. And I was a big what's Carl Sagan, right?
Yep, Carl Sagan.
Yeah, big Sagan fan. Yep. Watched his show as a little kid. Like, he was the guy. Yeah. He was what that new guy is chasing, the astrophysicist.
Yeah, I know exactly.
He's trying to be today's Carl Sagan. You know, that kid was like Carl Sagan.
Yeah,
you know?
I just mean that
the new Carl Sagan.
This movie has the heart that I think Contact had. I couldn't remember seeing a science fiction movie that wasn't.
Oh, I thought Arrival had. Wait a second.
No, I'm saying prior to Contact, because Contact's the first one of these films. Oh, is there a? I think all these movies.
We're talking about any space movie with
science fiction.
Saturn 3. Did you ever see Saturn 3?
No. Now, does that movie have the? I feel like all the movies I listed, those 4, they all share the same tone as Contact. There's a feel to them.
No, this is a joke. It's
Okay.
a Z-grade movie, but it's with Kirk Douglas and Farrah Fawcett Majors.
Okay. But do you know what I'm saying?
They're on Saturn 3.
Okay.
So, no. But there was a lot of loving in that. It was kind of the sexy, like, late 70s movie.
There's sort of the whole humanity has to come together, world government.
No, I mean, okay, Stellaris.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
talk about Clooney.
But I
like Stellaris.
I've seen the original
I saw
Stellaris.
both. The first one,
it doesn't remind me of Contact, though, but I feel you. It is a human story.
No, it's a humane space story.
You're right. You're correct.
Sunshine. I rewatched Sunshine, part of Sunshine.
Sunshine's great.
I mean, that's a pretty, like, heady brew.
I guess I was thinking more of the inspirational, science. But yeah, I feel you.
Outland.
I don't know Outland.
Oh, Outland's the best. It's a Western in space. So it's high noon in space.
Okay.
It's on a distant, what is it, Europa or something? Io. It's on the moon of Io on Jupiter.
Yeah.
And they're mining colony. And this Sean Connery is the new sheriff in town, literally, that like busts the drunks and the whatever in the space colony. And they're all getting high on like a speed, and it makes them good workers. So the corporation's in on it. So he's the one man army that has to fight back. So it's a fun movie, but it is a space movie. And it's interesting to see like what they adhere to as far as the rules to make it hard. You know, it's funny now, like Alien sort of started that sub trend of like, we're all going to be mining in space one day, but like still to this day, like a kilo of cargo into orbit is like, you know, $1 million more, you know, 10 million. So that whole idea that we're going to like haul heavy freighters and colonies for mining and all that's not based on any real science. That's just, hey, how would we put spacemen on this place, you know? So what I like about Project Hail Mary is it has the aspects of like a global crisis movie, but it doesn't really like ham it up too much. It's not Independence Day. It just sort of, this woman, I love this Austrian woman.
Coming in this film in Project Hail Mary? Yeah, she's the woman from The Fall, right?
No, from what's the one? Well, maybe it is The Fall, but she's also, what I know her from is the
or Anatomy of a Murder. That's what I'm talking about.
No. Well, yes, but the Holocaust movie where she was the wife of the commandant.
Oh, yes, that is her as well. She had that year. Yeah. It was a year when she was in 2 very critically acclaimed movies. The one about the concentration camp guard, and then the other one about the writer who got murdered or something. I think it's called Anatomy of a Fall.
Yes.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's the same woman. Yeah, it's the same woman.
So you got that like almost trope of I mean, they do it on Rick and Morty, like the chopper sets down and they're like, get in, you know, like, and you love it. You're like, oh shit. The guys in this with the earpieces are here, you know. That harkens back to an old tradition which I happen to love, which is
get in the van. It's time to save the world.
Get in the chopper. It's always the chopper that like bashes everything out of the way. But Arrival did it, you know, they do it. And then that's where you go from your movie. Like that's always the opening salvo for any science like world movie like this, like the asteroids coming, etc. And so where you go from there is the fun, because you could get them in the chopper and they go, let's go see Godzilla. Like you'll buy it, you know, like it could be anything, you know. Either there's a giant tidal wave or there's a meteor coming, or, you know, there's an alien signal coming in.
Let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
I think this movie, universally crowd pleaser, right? It's going to have staying power. People are going to love it. It's not going anywhere. I think we know that this movie's a hit, right? I don't know about financially. I'm not paying attention, but
it's the Top Gun of the year.
All right,
that's
great.
The one we're going to talk about.
So here's my question. Why did this, and you might know better than I would, why did this movie come out right after the Oscars?
It's not, you're saying they could have gone for Oscars?
Maybe they still will, but wouldn't a movie normally like this come out in the fall or the late summer? I mean, they came out like weeks after the Oscars.
Here, just parenthetically, I've never been good at prognosticating about distribution patterns. I mean,
Okay.
I can talk them,
Sure.
but I don't want to, this is like the point on the stock tip show where I say, look, I'm not a licensed broker.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, maybe. I mean, there's always the like post game, trade article. It's funny. There's no trades left. Like, let's be honest. Like, they're all owned by one company. That feeling is gone. Somewhere in my closet, I have like a framed article from Variety. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lost art. But meaning the box office, Bafo box office for Hail Mary, Gaz's Bafo box office, whatever. And I don't know why it worked. I just think like that's the magic of the timing of Hollywood. And that could be, you get the shot, you get the sunset, you get the actor right before they're expensive. Timing is everything. Luck and timing. And so part of luck and timing is your film comes out as exactly when the culture is hungry for it. That's just kismet, and that's why you keep coming back to the table to keep gambling for that feeling. But somebody like Gosling improves your luck by tenfold in every metric. I do know that.
Yeah. Totally. So, I had this thought while watching the movie, which was you could put Ryan Gosling in The Martian and you could put Matt Damon in this movie and they would both be fine. Neither movie would be better nor worse. Like, I think we would accept
I think
both.
Gosling's superior. I like Damon.
Oh, interesting.
I just think I like his... Damon is not trying to be a movie star. Affleck is trying to be a movie star. Damon is trying to be a good actor. And he is a good actor.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he has like some speeds and rhythms and he can move and all that. But he's good. I love that he does bad guys. He's still like by far he's like a righty or a lefty. He's like
he's
a great bad guy.
He's the best part of The Departed, which is a movie I don't love. Yeah.
I mean, he's a he plays a in that one movie where in the prep school.
Yeah. School Ties.
Yes. School Ties.
Yeah.
Whereas Affleck, who I love, is more like Burt Reynolds. Like he's got ticks and he's got like styles and he's got things that he does and you love him for it. He's more iconic, if you know. Like,
do you think Damon couldn't play the silliness up in this movie in Project Hail Mary? Because there's a ton of comedy for the first 45 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. He's a drier humor. Like I was rewatching, we were talking about that heist script that I wrote, and I looked at Ocean's 11 again. I hadn't seen it in a while.
Yeah.
And they're all funny, but the Damon funny is a gentle throwaway funny. He doesn't go, you know what I mean? But I'm bump. He kind of like mutters good, and he's got good timing, but his humor is more like throwaway. And that's great. But Gosling has what Ryan Reynolds wishes he has.
Oh, that's interesting. I never thought about it that way. That's fascinating. Because we've never seen Ryan Reynolds have the dramatic chops that we know Gosling
he's tried.
has.
I mean, he's been firing on it for a while.
Yeah.
But I just think he's also in the like movie star phase. Like he played up his. I mean, I saw that Pizza Man show, whatever, three guys.
Yeah, that's when I first saw him too.
And he was doing the schmirky thing then, and now he's sort of like weaponized it for
for evil.
Well, in some cases, yeah. I mean, it's funny. I was just texting with some friends about that who had worked with some of them, and they were trying to get dirt, and I'm like, just no one's going to text you some dirt about a movie star, dumbass. Like, no paper trails, please.
Yeah,
but yeah. So I think that this delivers on the all quadrant question. Fun.
Yes, correct.
Also sad, like resonant.
Yep.
Deep, but simple. You feel like there's a mind to the details of what the ship's built, like how it works. They probably got JPL. They're like, what if we give you all the money in the world? And I mean, literally, like every country kicked in like $50 billion, what? And they build the ship,
Yeah.
My little gripe note is I love vehicles.
Okay.
And so when I see vehicles in movies that are iconic, I want to know their name. I want to know that there's like a rat that like there's a ship's cat.
Yeah.
I want lore.
Mm-hmm.
The Millennium Falcon is just a plastic model using like old German tank parts.
I was gonna say it's a satellite dish.
Yeah, without the lore.
Yeah, right.
And this was a functional craft that wasn't even like acknowledged.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean the way I look at this movie in general, it's like, imagine you go to war, right? You do something in which you forge a friendship that is so incredibly strong and deep, and then it's reliant on an experience you're sharing, but you make the best friend of your life, maybe something even more than that, something that's like, sort of a platonic love. But then in those experiences, you always have to leave each other. You have to go apart and do your own thing, right? Someone's got to go back to their home. Someone's got to go back to their home. And in this movie, that type of friendship and partnership is developed. Only by the end, they get to spend the rest of their lives together. It's wonderful. I was telling
that was the happy ending. I mean, the ending where he goes to save him is the heroic movie ending.
Correct.
But this movie is not a heroic movie. It has heroic aspects. This movie is a romance.
Yes. Correct.
And a lovely one at that.
Yeah.
I was trying to come up with some like parallels. Like my snarky one-liner was, "It's Rain Man except Gosling is Dustin Hoffman."
Oh, yeah.
Because he's like, "Dummy, we need to do this." And then, oh, right. Sorry.
Yeah,
like,
that is interesting.
And he's, you know what I mean? They do have like, but that's part of the fun is, it is a bromance, but it's almost like they're building a house together. There's some like task that they're sharing. Yeah. And a lot of times war does that. Like we have to blow up the bridge together. We have to do the mission together. A lot of movies are premised on that. And this could be Lethal Weapon in space. I mean, there's all kinds of fun. Butch and Sundance.
This is also the Judd. This is the movie Judd Apatow can't make. He wants to make it, but he just doesn't have it in him. Like,
I don't see Judd Apatow anywhere near this movie.
No, I mean in the sense that it's bromance turned into art, and Judd Apatow's made a career on bromance,
but no plot. This is very plot driven.
Oh, absolutely. It's also just a much more high quality film than anything Apatow's ever made.
Full mix. It's Lord and Miller. We should talk about that.
Yeah, please.
Phil Lord, Chris Miller, I think. Did in the Spider-Verse movies, all those like really visually cool movies came from animation. Actually, we had the same boss. I was listening to an interview. We had the same boss at Disney TV Animation, and they kind of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs was their big like feature thing, and then they did Jump Streets. Those two Jump Streets, which I think are pretty funny, both of them.
Definitely.
A lot of live action comedy, right? So that's why the laughs work. I think they really know that well. And here's the best story here is now you see they can do a space story. I really do want to see their like jokey improv solo now, because they were the directors that got fired by, fired by Lucasfilm, but replaced by Ron Howard.
Wait a minute, fired from what?
Solo.
They were the original directors of Solo?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea about that.
This tone, which is, it's heroic and it has stakes, but it's also like a bet on when we go jokey, we'll come back around and we won't lose the seriousness.
Yeah.
I think Lucasfilm lost their nerve. They wanted like a wisecracking Han Solo, but I think they went too far. And, Donald Glover is funny. Yeah. So maybe he went there. You know what I mean? They I think they fell in love with where they were going and they forgot, wait a second, we're making a Happy Meal here. Slow down. No, let's not do improv Olympics.
I mean, look, when it comes to Project Hail Mary, I loved this movie. I was texting my friends. I cried for 2.5 hours about a space rock. Nice. However, if I have one small critique of this movie, just one, it's that some of the photography on Earth is shaky handheld camera for no reason whatsoever. I didn't understand it. Like I didn't know why. Like, and it didn't even match because they'd go from like a shaky handheld to like an established like tripod wide shot. And I was like, well, you can't do it that way.
They were trying to make the Earth. They were trying to show that he's awkward on Earth.
It was a little nauseating.
It is nauseating, but then you have 3/4 of the movie, which is floating with no gravity. So it's never going to be shaky. It's like by nature, it's just going to drifty around.
Yeah.
So I think they were trying to say like he's not comfortable in his own skin. And also like they were doing the shaky cam to make it like a war movie. Like we've got 6 days to launch, John. I got no time for your shit. And then, you know, like follow them. And then the big explosion. And it's all like very that kind of movie, I think they were going for. And then you hit space and you're just floating. But speaking of exposition, doing the memory reboot, I think was a smart way to feather in the film, because in this film, you're usually stuck with the like helicopter on the school lawn. Dr. Jones, we need your help. Get in the chopper, go to the bunker, see the big radar blop that's coming, and scientist has to stop it and get in the ship and go and see the alien and save the day, the end. So rather they're like, okay, let's take it up here. And he sort of remembers the first act, but we kind of know how we got here. It's Ryan Gosling. Trust us. And it's also the other challenge, which is audiences are impatient. So you're either left doing it this way, or you have to do the like open on space. An asteroid hits the beautiful space mission. Cut to 3 years earlier, you know, and you have to like grab them a little bit and then settle into what, you know, Basil exposition.
You know, they also had a fantastic actor playing what I wouldn't say is a minor part, but the part of the ship's captain who actually dies. I like that
guy. He was on Lost.
So his name's Ken Lung, and he's actually one of the main cast members of, in my opinion, the best show on TV that very few people talk about, which is Industry on HBO. And he's a phenomenal actor. He's actually American, so
great actor. Yeah, so he's putting on the Chinese accent.
He's putting on a Chinese accent.
Yeah. He was good.
He's a phenomenal actor. You know, one thing I'll say about this movie is that the Rocky alien was a puppet. So Ryan Gosling got to act against a puppet, which I think probably helped his performance. And the guy had
a voice, and it was like, I mean, I'm a big, you know, as you might.
I think we all love puppetry. I've never met a film fan who's like, I like CGI.
Yoda, dude. Yeah. Yoda and Mark Hamill. Just listen to Mark Hamill talk about what a drag that was.
Oh, acting against the puppet?
Drag. No, you're in an artificial swamp. The water goes bad after the third day, and on and on and on. Like everything went wrong with that set, but mostly there was 1980 technology communication wise in terms of Frank Oz is performing under, you know, the 5-foot set and Mark Hamill's on top and like, what forces, that for like 2 months on that stupid soundstage with the lizards and the snakes and the smoke. So this was probably a lot smoother. This made me feel like, is that the KS2 guy that always does the voices? I liked that it was just some guy.
Oh, are you talking about that blonde actor from Firefly?
He does a lot of this stuff.
He does many voices.
And he's so good in in KSO or whatever he's called, K2.
Yeah, the dude from the robot from Rogue One.
Correct.
But he does tons
another
of
like
voices.
Oddball two-hander, right?
He's British too. I think he is. He's not British.
And he was on Firefly.
Yeah, he's Firefly. I mean, he does so many voices. I was gonna say that if the Rocky,
I never heard this guy.
Remember the WWF doll, like the big dolls you could like smash into walls and stuff. They were soft. Do you remember those? They were like about 2 feet tall. If they made one for Rocky, I'd probably go get it. Like I've never felt the need to get a Baby Yoda, but I'd get the Rocky.
That's what I'm saying is like they went there. There's definitely plush toys coming to a theater near you. I don't know. Is this MGM? So there'll be, you know, an MGM park soon, and it'll be the Rocky Picture Show. But and that's fine. I like Rocky, and he's positive, and it's like E.T. meets a like, I don't know, sand crab or something. But Grogu is a great example of that. They are cracking the code or rediscovering the R2D2 and Ewok code, which is like people like little cuddly alien creature sort of things, you know?
You know what I also really liked about Rocky? I really liked that Ryan Gosling was a scientist, a biologist, not an astronaut, but Rocky was the ship's mechanic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Rocky was not. He was the low man on the totem pole from his ship.
It's almost like a Castaway tale. Like, but I go back to Robinson Crusoe. Like, Rocky is like Good Friday. Do you remember they met the guy and they couldn't really talk, but they could kind of work together, and eventually they became friends, and it was like they survived this wilderness together, which is essentially what's going on here, you know.
It was smart to make him the mechanic. It made him blue collar, which makes him more likable. The engineer, right? It's
also practical. You know, you have this theoretical goofball guy who was supposed to just be the mission specialist, and Scotty.
Yeah, he's Scotty. Absolutely.
And Scotty can just fashion whatever you need. What's your design? Okay, let me whip something up. And that's what saves the plot, because you do believe, like, yeah, he could whip up a 2-kilometer long chain and do a fishing expedition stuff, you know? Like, that's when you know a movie has you. If I sit here and just describe what happens to someone who hasn't even seen this movie, they'll be like, then what? You're buying that? But yeah, a major plot point of this movie is they fashion a 5-kilometer chain and dip it into the upper atmosphere to catch the space virus in a bucket and then synthesize it into anti-space virus. It sounds absolutely ridiculous. On the big screen with the pumping going, like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, there is so much clever...
You have us because we care about Rocky and Ryan.
There's so much clever ways that they do what they need to do in this movie, right? Where there are things they clearly have to do to write themselves out of a hole, and yet it's not apparent. So, like, for me, the number one thing I always notice of bad writing is, like, whenever a plot moves forward because a character heard something they weren't supposed to hear, either like ducking under a window or like around a corner of a door, I'm like, oh, that was the writer getting themselves out of a hole. And this movie
like
does that.
Patch. It's a patch over a hole. It's like a bad drywall.
And this movie just manages to build character while they do that. And that's what's so interesting.
Of the believability. And that's what I'm saying is, like, I think this is like, if you did it chronologically, it would be a hard science movie into a space fantasy. Because the Rocky species can fill in a lot of blanks. That as long as they adhere to their own sort of internal logic, you can have... Essentially, they were saying that this guy is like a something between an elf that's like good with metals and like a spider that can spin webs, but it's like he's spinning like metal. Right, and that's why it has that sort of quality.
I was going to say, like, he's like if you took Legolas and Gimli and just combined them.
I don't know about Legolas.
But you're right. But he does
Gimli feeling of short and rock and like underground and you know of the stone and iron kind of strength, and you know not a big long ET neck that's very like vulnerable. It's like a rock. You know, like their world is probably very harsh and all that. So. I mean, so great to see a movie that you know come away like, I want to see that again. I haven't felt like that in a while. Like, I'm gonna find it on the Enormo Dome and try to just see it again, because I think it's a good one for that.
This is the type of movie where, for me as a 90s kid, this videotape would have gotten worn out. I mean, you would have seen me with a pencil, you know, like screwing the tape back into the actual cassette. Like, this thing I would have played out like crazy. It's also amazing because I love The Martian. I love this movie. This movie's like The Martian, only with much higher stakes, because in The Martian, he's just trying to survive and get home. And in this movie, Ryan Gosling's trying to save the world. But, you know, and at least in this one, they give Ryan Gosling something to talk to and to talk back to him, as where in The Martian, he's literally... I always thought one of the only problems with The Martian was would you continue talking to a video log if you really didn't have to? Right? Like,
Yeah, because I thought it was like a sanity, like diary thing.
Yeah. And
I mean, again, I go back to I love vehicles because like not maybe nautical, maybe I like the sort of like space nautical, parallels.
Yeah.
Because you're going far away. It's hearkening back to like there be dragons off the map. Like we're into territory we don't know, we've never been.
They're always admirals and captains.
Your only lifeline is your ship.
Yeah.
So you come to love it, right? Or your
did I ever tell you the best
little world that he built?
Did I ever tell you the best one-sentence movie review I ever heard in my entire life? I don't know who said it. I don't remember. But somebody said that Master and Commander was the best Star Trek movie ever made.
It's true. I've seen that, and I love that, and it's so true.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to get at is like Wrath of Khan, Master and Commander, Red October, Crimson Tide. Like there's just nothing like a good old like give me double speed, damn it. Like that's what Trek does better than anybody, but they don't. It's funny, there was a big gap that Star Wars could fill. They did the nautical like aye Captain. So, he went more like Wild West with it, but it was, it's, you want that. I got that in Martian because that vehicle that he had to sort of get out with was like his old Bessie kind of thing,
Right.
Do you remember Flight of the Phoenix?
Oh yeah.
Love those
Both
movies.
Both of them.
I love like Memphis Belle, like a bomber movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because you share. Oh, my favorite is Sahara with the tank.
Oh, interesting.
You ever seen that with Humphrey Bogart?
Oh, you know what? I was thinking of the other Sahara with Matthew McConaughey. Isn't there a movie called Sahara with Matthew McConaughey?
Yes, they did it. No. There's an original great movie.
Okay.
I think it's like the year after he did Maltese Falcon. He was in his prime, and they just went out to the Mojave and had a couple Sherman tanks and a couple, like modified German tanks and a bunch of soldiers, and they did like it's amazing. It's basically Rio Bravo. Their tank, North Africa tank finds the last well within 300 miles, and the whole German army is retreating, and they're thirsty. Go, and it's amazing. But it's a vehicle movie because old Bessie gets them out of some and like that kind of thing.
You know what I appreciate about this movie, about Project Hail Mary, that we still live in a time in the 21st century, in the year 2026 of our Lord, where we still believe that a German person has no problem sending people to their death and betraying and drugging a close friend and sending them to their death. Like the fact they went with this Eastern European German woman to play that role, at least
you mean Ilsa, she-devil of the SS?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I like
very
that.
German. That's true.
She was German. She said she grew up in East Germany, right?
No, I mean, she looks like the Frau.
Right.
She's got the map of Germany.
I like that we still commonly accept that German people are capable of this kind of coldness.
Oh, it's like an easy shorthand. Well, yeah, but it's her. She's got those eyes, man. I mean, she's tough cookie. So you can believe that they would give her the authority.
Yeah.
As far as like that scene, I actually liked it because going on the Stations of the Cross of the Save the World movie, which is doing, that inevitable scene, they had a choice. Does she do the like Newt Rockney like coach speech, like, look, you've never believed in yourself, but I've always believed in you. And so does the world. I will leave you to think and look at the sunset. I mean, that's what every other movie does, is that, dun, dun, they put the horns on and he like struts out into the, the slow motion astronaut walk. But they wanted the arc of this guy to be kind of a coward and kind of a bumbling idiot. And it was only, I thought the best line of the movie was, you being something about it, you be a hero for someone you love.
Yeah, like that's actually Ken Lung who says that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the core of the movie, and that is what wakes him up. He doesn't have love in his life.
Yeah.
And he finds it, 10 million miles from home.
You know what's weird? They explain why Rocky's shipmates died, But they never explained why Ryan Gosling's shipmates died. You realize that the Rocky character shipmates died from radiation poisoning from the space virus that they used to propel their ship.
Whatever.
Yeah. They didn't know about radiation. They kept.
Yeah, and he was in the engine room, and so he was away from it. Yeah, sure.
Right.
So that we buy that, but then.
So the captain and the other, I don't know.
You're very right. I don't know.
They never explained why they died.
I think since Planet of the Apes on, I just that your entire crew dies because micrometeorites went through their faces.
Let me ask you a question. Have we ever seen
alien? Like you always they never wake up. The whole crew never wakes up.
That's what I was going to say. Have we ever seen a space movie where the whole crew wakes up from a self-induced coma? It never happens. They all
look at each other's eyes and go like, it's not going to be me.
At this point,
see you in 7 years.
If you're a NASA astronaut and they tell you, hey, you know what? We have figured out a way to get to Mars.
And only 5 of you.
And we're going to put you all in a coma for 6 months. You have seen enough movies at this point to know that 3 of you are not getting out of that coma.
Yeah. It's a trope. So you have to look at you want to be led along in a genre, the save the world genre.
Yeah.
But then you want to be infinitely surprised.
Yes.
And not surprised enough that they broke the genre, but just enough that you're like, they put a little tamarind in the recipe this time. Yummy.
That's all. So I got a new rating system. I'll probably come up with new rating systems every time I feel like it. They'll never stay the same. But here's my rating system, right? There's run to the theater, walk to the theater, drive past the theater. This is a run to the theater, is it not?
And what's great is I feel like people did. I haven't seen the movies that crowded. I saw it on a weekday and it was sold out.
Yeah.
Like it spread like wildfire, and I think people are getting into the second viewing portion of this movie. It's already made a ton of money. But it was interesting. It was like everybody wanted to just shut the phone off, shut this off, go sit, get some popcorn. It's so funny. I knew it was like therapy for me because my girlfriend was like, oh, you put too much butter on the popcorn. I'm like, that's because I need it.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
that's
totally.
Like unfiltered cigarette for me. I just once in a while.
Interesting. That's great. Yeah, I totally feel you.
So I'm like, no, because that is the taste of summer.
Yeah,
a cold, ice cold Coke and a over buttered. Because I get the layered. You got to get layered.
This movie is the equivalent to making love to a beautiful woman and having her serve you eggs afterwards. I mean, you just feel great walking out of there. It is just awesome. I don't really know what to say. I
know where you're going with that. But she's got a rocking body. Get it?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I don't know. Just you just feel good. Just walk out of that place.
It feel good.
Yeah.
It feel good. Yeah. And worth another look
Yeah.
or a first look if you ruined it for yourselves. But thank God for the movies. It's good to talk with positive, hopeful feelings about not just the movie business, but the movies, like a good old fashioned popcorn movie.
And it's great when a movie like this is not, we're not going to be telling people 10 years down the line, man, there was that great movie nobody saw.
Yeah, I forget it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some don't stick with you. I think you're right. I think this one is going to live on.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Hope they don't do, the Squeakquel or something.
I hope they do. I want an entire movie. I want a buddy comedy.
No, they will do
I want a Caddyshack style buddy comedy, like a Nice Guys or Fall Guys, whatever that movie's called. The Nice Guys with those two characters.
Gosling was in it, and just put him in, have him in a spacesuit, and they have an adventure in L.A.
All right, everybody.
Yeah. This was fun.
Yeah, this is the How I Got Greenlit.
For once.
Yeah, this was the How I Got Greenlit podcast and YouTube show. I'm Sam. That's Alex. Thanks for joining us as always, guys. And hopefully the next movie will be just as good as this one. Alex, until next time.
Thanks.